This image is synonymous with the name Jeff the Killer. Both the name and picture are also linked to a story of the same name, which were made from this photo. But despite the popularity and attention surrounding the words Jeff the Killer, no one truly knows the actual origin of this original image, which website it originally appeared on, which country it was made in, or for what purpose. On today's Monster Files, I'm going to be taking a quick look at Jeff the Killer, the image that led to his popularity, the creepypasta that made his name iconic, as well as anything interesting about the figure. Firstly, let's discuss the first ever appearance of this image on the internet. The image's first appearance had no link to the creepypasta that gained it notoriety. Its first known appearance on the internet was in 2005 on a site known as pya.cc, which is seemingly just a similar content posting site to Reddit or Newgrounds, but mostly used in Japan. Then, in August 2007, a YouTube video was created that contained the image. Over time, this said video accumulated over 2 million views. The video seems to be an attempt at a cursed video or something akin to The Grifter, a video with strange and unsettling imagery with ambient music in the background to disturb the viewer. During the video, the Jeff the Killer image is shown at around the 4-minute mark, and apparently text appears on screen listing names and ages, as well as the text, "Good night." A year later, the image was then posted on Newgrounds in August of 2008 by a user aptly named Killer Jeff, claiming the photo was a picture of himself. The user then posted a slightly edited version of this image on Newgrounds again, adding that this new image was somehow in the SpongeBob style, whatever that means. As this image gained a little bit more traction on Newgrounds, user Killer Jeff posted these two images on Encyclopedia Dramatica in November of 2008. As the image gained some more infamy because of Killer Jeff's post, the creator of said post created a YouTube channel, which has since been deleted. The channel itself, as well as the user, would henceforth be known as Sesua or Sesur. I'm unsure of how to pronounce it. Sesur uploaded a video on this channel, which has dated quite poorly, but the video outlines the story of Jeff the Killer, the main plot points of his story, which would change a lot over time. Then, 3 years later, in 2011, a new version of the creepypasta story was created and added to the creepypasta wiki. This story had many deviations from the original Sesua version, but despite this version of the character is the version that most people are aware of. The version is filled with spelling errors and grammar mistakes. 4 years after that, in 2015, people began to realise that the story of Jeff the Killer, despite its popularity, was quite poorly written, so the 2011 version of the story was removed from the creepypasta site, as it was believed that it didn't fit the quality control standards of the site, and was thus removed and put onto the Trollpasta wiki. So, people who were fans of the image and original concept of Jeff the Killer started a competition in 2015 to rewrite the story so that it would be of a much higher quality. The user by the name of K. Banning Kellum and his version of the story seemed to gain much more praise for its writing and thus won the competition. He even wrote multiple sequels to the Jeff the Killer storyline, as well as remaking the Jane the Killer story. I'll now give a brief summary of the Jeff the Killer creepypasta, the 2011 version, as it's the most popular version, being that it came out in around 2011, during the time when creepypastas were starting to boom. Most stories during the time period of around 2010 to 2012 gained major notoriety. No matter how good or bad they were written, as long as they were memorable, they gained celebrity. So, let me give a brief summary. The story of Jeff the Killer is about two brothers, Jeffrey Woods and his brother Lou, or Liu. The two kids had just moved into a new house in a new town, meaning that the two would have to go to a new school. Whilst waiting for the bus for their first day of school, the two brothers are attacked by 3 bullies and threatened with a knife. Jeff then proceeds to brutally beat the 3 bullies. This leads to the police appearing at Jeff's house to arrest the person responsible for the injuries left on the 3 bullies. Jeff's younger brother Lou takes the blame for the attack, leaving Jeff distraught. As he and his family are new to the area, their next door neighbours invite Jeff and his family to a birthday party. Whilst at said birthday party, the 3 bullies yet again appear unannounced. Jeff manages to kill one of his bullies, but before he can do so, he is doused with vodka and bleach and set ablaze. Jeff then wakes up in hospital, covered in bandages. When the bandages are removed, Jeff finds out that he was brutally scarred from his attack and burning, leaving him with deathly pale skin that has a leather touch to it, as well as bright red lips. Jeff comments to the doctor, who cared for him, that he was a fan of his new face. But somehow the doctor chalked up Jeff's reaction to his scarring as simply a side effect of the painkillers that Jeff was on, and not insanity. Then the doctor just simply lets Jeff return to his family home. Jeff reaches his humble abode and now begins to carve a permanent smile into his face, as well as burning away his eyelids, until he is rudely interrupted by his mother, who exclaims that her son is insane and that her husband, Jeff's father, needs to get their gun so that they can kill their son immediately. Jeff proceeds to then kill his two parents. He then also returns to Lou's room, who was just kinda let out of juvenile hall for some reason. Jeff then proceeds to plunge a knife into his brother whilst exclaiming his iconic phrase, "Go to sleep." Jeff then flees his home, running away while somehow not dead from the blood loss of cutting his face, nor blind from burning away his eyelids, and proceeds to travel the world, killing randomly with his new moniker, Jeff the Killer. Despite the retelling of Jeff's story in 2015, however, the fandom that Jeff the Killer was a part of was the creepypasta fandom. If you know anything about people in said fandom, they can be quite overzealous, and as a result, despite the decent retelling of Jeff's story in 2015, how people saw the character is, with laughter and confusion instead of fear and disgust. I personally don't find the image or story of Jeff the Killer in any of its iterations that scary, even when I was younger and part of the creepypasta fandom itself. I personally found Tails' doll more frightening. I didn't find the homicidal maniac with a Joker-esque smile scary. I found the plush doll with a red jewel on its head more frightening, simply due to the fact that the things that the creepypasta fandom would create about Jeff the Killer were quite common and strange. I feel a similar way to Slenderman as I do Jeff the Killer. I may have found the story and character and images surrounding the story scary at one point in my life, but the fan art, the fanfics, the comics, the rip-offs like Jane the Killer, it all kind of ruined the image of the character for me, and I feel like it did for a lot of people, as well as the image of the character was kind of ruined because of its fans. It was called the worst creepypasta of all time, whilst also being the most popular creepypasta to date, which is quite intriguing. In my opinion, I believe that the image that accompanied the stories is what led to its success, more so than the story and its writing itself. The image that led to the story's creation is still technically of unknown origin. We know of the first time it may have appeared on the internet, but we still don't know why it was made or if it was on a blog site or a video predating 2005. We simply don't know. In my opinion, the image is the scariest thing about the story. The image stays with you when you turn the lights out, not the idea of a 13-year-old with a knife and a Joker cosplay entering your room at night. The image that no one knows the exact origin of or reasoning for its creation. Hi, and thanks for watching. Let's play a little game. Okay, real quick. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to go into Google, type your name, followed by The Killer. Okay? So I'll show you what I mean. Go here and we type Josh the Killer creepypasta. Here's mine. You can see what I mean. Just go onto Google, type in your name, then The Killer. Something weird's gonna show up. It's just funny to look at. So yeah, my guy just works at McDonald's or something. I don't know. Yeah, feel free to tell me what your The Killer looks like in the comments. And yeah, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, etc. You've heard it 1,000 times. Sorry for saying it again. Let me know what monster I should cover in the next one. And yeah, toodles my doodles. Hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Also, quick little thing at the end. Sorry the vid took so long to come out. I've just been busy with university and other shit, being lazy. Sorry about that. And I'm working on a lot of different videos right now. Sorry about that. Let me know what other monster stuff I should cover. Anyway, toodles again. Peace.